When I needed something to fly inside the house to keep my fingers educated, I found the Blade Nano QX2. This little quad comes with the quad itself, an extra set of blades, a battery, and a USB charger for the battery. And you get an instruction manual that actually is a little bit helpful. The legs on the frame look stupid light, but when you consider that this whole thing weighs under 2 ounces, those legs actually do their job. That blade on the underside prevents the quad from sinking too far when you land a little rough. It's been a while since I flew a quad, so I've been stress testing this frame quite a bit. I've yet to break anything on this quad, so it looks like their engineers may have gotten this right. The motors on this Nano are simply pressed in the cups in the frame. The end of the motor wire actually plugs into the circuit board rather than being soldered, and that makes fixing your quad a whole lot easier. The single cell 500 milliamp battery slips into a holder on the bottom of the quad. The camera comes pre-installed from the factory. The lens is on a swivel that lets you go from level to 15 degrees up depending on how fast you're flying. The hole on the side is to access the locking screw for the lens angle. Video is transmitted on 5.8 gigahertz with 7 channels available that are compatible with Fat Shark and immersion type goggles. As with any stabilization system, you need to have a level place to let the quad initialize. I folded some paper to shim the box up to where it was actually flat to the world, not to my table, which is a little crooked. Having that level surface for takeoff makes the Nano far easier to control. This really is one of the first flights, so naturally I had to go put the camera right in front of the TV to see what would happen. And I was right in that when you get real close to the TV and you're videoing yourself, you get this tunnel effect of a whole bunch of TVs, like we're looking down a tube made out of them. And when you get too close, you really fake out the video signal. But I was able to confirm that the video works in flight and we got a decent picture. By this time I've had about half a dozen flights on a Nano just to get familiar with it a little bit. But it is fun to fly through all the little holes I have in the house. You'll have to forgive some of the editing here. I'm trying to show you the camera view and an exterior view so you can see what I'm flying through. That helps you see that what you see through the camera on the quad can look a lot smaller than it is in real life. And when you don't have enough photographic lights to light up the whole house, things can look a little different when you move from one room to another. My intent originally was that I could fly through the whole house with this quad and watch it all on my big screen TV. That turned out to be a bad assumption on my part, and I should have known that. At this point, the video receiver is 3 or 4 walls and a staircase away from where I am right now. And as we'll see shortly, you just can't put that much stuff between you and the video receiver. This kind of system just isn't made for that. Now from the onboard camera, you can see how all this stuff interferes with the signal. Some of the video issues right here is from the quad being only a foot or two away from the receiver antenna. And that clears up as we move along. And right here I tried to turn the light on with one hand and fly the quad with the other, and no, it crashed and I took off again. I was a little shocked at how narrow this looks through the camera as opposed to in real life. And here, as soon as we make this turn and go beyond the wall, you see the video start to skip every now and then. Right now we also have a bank of metal bifolding doors and a stairway between us and the receiver, and the signal starts cutting out. But it's doing better than I expected a lot of the times. Yeah, I got so happy with the signal that I crashed again. All things considered, I guess I should be pretty happy with how the video's working out. The video equipment certainly isn't designed to work with all these obstructions between the camera and the receiver. And I did improve the video quality a little bit by changing channels. There may have been some interference on one of the channels in the house, and I just slowly went through the channels and found that this one works the best. So now I've got something I can practice my RC flying with a little bit in the house anyway. I think a big part of the video quality issue when we're operating inside a house is this little teeny antenna. That little hunk of copper wire is the video antenna. I suspect if we put a good cloverleaf antenna on this Nano, it probably wouldn't take off because of the extra weight. So if you're looking for something to fly to keep your RC fingers nimble when you can't fly other stuff, consider the Blade Nano QX2. It seems to work very well for me, and it is a challenge to fly. But as I educate my fingers, it gets better.